the world is now shifting from unipolarity to multipolarity, from free trade to protectionism, from multilateralism to unilateralism, from globalization to hyper-nationalism, from openness to xenophobia, from optimism to anxiety. The big powers are taking a narrower view of their national interests. And because there is a lack of strategic trust between the big powers, countries have turned inwards, ostensibly in the name of national security, resilience, and de-risking, in order to secure their individual interests in this turbulent environment. A new world order is taking shape and characterized by profound unpredictability, instability, and volatility. There are three broad sets of implications for Singapore. First, on the economic front, Singapore operates as an open economy that is deeply integrated with all the big powers around the world. We trade, invest, and access technologies from all of them. We allow companies from all over the world to operate here as long as they play by the rules. This open paradigm is now at risk. The second set of implications is on war and peace. The Russia-Ukraine war has now entered its fourth year. Closer home, tensions in the South China Sea, through which 1/3 of global trade passes through, continue to simmer. The Europeans and Americans initially responded forcefully to defend Ukraine and to isolate Russia. But recent pronouncements and actions by the new US administration, most recently the dramatic live video from the Oval Office, have dramatically underlined a change in long-standing US policy. The rules-based international order that has prevailed for 80 years is at risk of degenerating into the law of the jungle where might makes right. We may, in fact, be reverting to a time when the world is divided into blocs controlled by big powers. And by definition, this must mean the loss of choice and autonomy for small states. Third implication, our ability to respond collectively to global threats and to safeguard the global commons has been significantly impaired. Imagine, is the world today in a better state to deal with another pandemic, given a severely weakened WHO? And how are we going to respond to climate change? We must have no illusions about our place in the world. But small as we are, for 60 years, we have refused to adopt a fatalistic posture. We have insisted on agency to build our strength, to protect our sovereignty, maintain our relevance, to create political and economic space for ourselves. We strive to be useful, but not to be made use of. Our diversity in Singapore does mean that from time to time, Singaporeans will have different views on developments around the world. And we have to provide space for this diversity to be expressed, but without letting it become a means to divide us as a country. And we must be able to continue to work with both of them and ensure that our relations are mutually beneficial. We will never be the largest trading or strategic partner to either China or the US, basically because we're a small country. But we can be amongst their most reliable and consistent partners. We must continue to strengthen our ties in our region bilaterally, especially and most intensively with Malaysia and Indonesia, and obviously with ASEAN. We will continue to do so on the basis of interdependency, mutual respect, and aim to build healthy relations which will be crucial for stability and growth of our entire region. Beyond our immediate neighborhood, it is also crucial for us to make common cause with as many partners as possible including India, Japan, the Middle East, Africa, Europe, Latin America, Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific Islands. At the UN, we continue to be a staunch advocate for multilateralism, for adherence to international law, for the importance of the UN Charter. And this system is vital for countries big and small in order for us to have a chance to compete on a level playing field. We must actively create opportunities that will enable Singapore to be a magnet for ideas, technology, talent, and capital. We are at the end of an era. There's no doubt about that. And the most dangerous phase is when one world order is being replaced by a new world order. The interregnum is likely to be chaotic, difficult, dangerous, and tumultuous. Singapore and Singaporeans, every one of us will need to be realistic, to be careful, and to be nimble. But the point is, we do have strengths, and there are opportunities ahead.